going on, guys? I'll go back to my draft grades. This is the third one I've done in a row. My throat hurts already. But let's go and get right into it. Alphabetical order. I believe I said AFC North already. Not sure if I did, but we're doing AFC North, which means we're starting the Baltimore Ravens with their first pick. Since the Seahawks, for some reason, took not Patrick Queen, the Ravens end up with Patrick Queen, which is a complete steal. A+. Not even going to talk about it. Or not even going to talk about it. Patrick Queen, he is a little undersized, but he's great speed, great range. Obviously, that makes him a great guy in pass coverage. And for his size, he's a good run stopper. For his size, emphasize on the size. But they really needed a linebacker. I believe they lost Josh Bryant, who's a good free agent signee. I think they also lost, I'm just going to call him Dinosaur because I don't know how to say his name. But they really needed a linebacker, and they got arguably the best one in class. I think Murray's better, but Patrick Queen's pretty much 1B if you give Murray 1A. That's an A+ grade. And then J.K. Dobbins, another A+ grade. J.K. Dobbins, he's a very, very, very good running back out of Ohio State. You can argue that he's the best running back in this class. You can argue really a lot of running backs are the best running back in this class. But Dobbins is a great receiver, great runner. He's fast. He can make people miss. It's not the best necessarily power-wise, but he's just an extremely good running back. And with Mark Ingram getting older and probably, I think he's a little injury prone. I'm not super, but not extremely. And also the Ravens being up here running offense with Lamar Jackson and Ingram and having Marquise Brown as number one receiver, having like 10 tight ends on their team at a time. Just an amazing pick. I don't know how the hell they got J.K. Dobbins. Another A+ for Baltimore. 2 picks in, they're both A+s. Start to the third round. I got Justin Madubuike. That's an A in my opinion. He's a very good pass rushing defensive tackle. They obviously got guys like Khalid Kareem in the offseason to help out at that spot. But guess what? Now they have a young guy to develop behind guys like Khalid Kareem. And it looks like they have Derek Wolfe. And they also got Brandon Williams. They have a very veteran-based defensive line and overall really just defense in general. But now they have Justin Madubuike, who I think is extremely underrated. He's a great player. He's a steal. Another steal for Baltimore. You can give us an A+ if you want. I'm going to give him an A because I'm going to give them like every pick as an A+. But he's a great pass rusher. He's a decent run stopper too. And I think he's going to be a superstar in Baltimore. He fits that team amazingly. And then in their second, third round pick, Devin Duvernay. What do you know? They got a fucking amazing receiver. This is an A+. I think he should have gone to the second round to the Green Bay Packers. I can't wait to talk about the Packers. But they get Devin Duvernay. The Ravens get Devin Duvernay. He's a great player. He has great speed, great slot receiver. It'll be amazing help for Lamar Jackson, who loves throwing it to guys like Mark Andrews and slot receivers. This is a slam dunk A+ steal grade. Just fucking amazing. And then they got another third pick, Malik Harrison. Like, this is ridiculous. This is an A. Obviously, they already took Patrick Queen. Now they get Malik Harrison, who's another great linebacker. He's a great speedy guy, but he's bigger. Like, he's 6'3", 247. Patrick Queen was 6 feet, 222, I believe. And I mean, it's a great combination having Malik Harrison and Patrick Queen on your defense. They're both fast. They're both decent. They're both good run stoppers. They can both cover. It's ridiculous. That's an A for the Ravens. You can argue it's an A+. You can argue the Madubuike pick is an A+ too. And then in their third round pick, this is my first non-A. This is Tyre Phillips. I think they should have gone someone else. That's not really saying much, but I don't know much about Tyre Phillips. I guess one would be. There's probably just a developmental tackle. There's not much really know. I don't really know much about him. I think he should go on guard in this situation. But, you know, they go guard later. We can talk about that. And let's just talk about it right now. They got Ben Bredeson. I would have gone Donnie Muti. He's pretty injury prone, or extremely injury prone. But he's an amazing player. But Bredeson isn't bad. He's a good player for Michigan. He was a 4-year starter and captain for them. But he's a good run blocker. Definitely, I don't think he's going to be amazing. I give it out a B as well, or a B+ actually, because it does fill a need with Marshall Yonder retiring. He's a good player though. I really like him. And then in the 5th round, I get Broderick Washington, who I think is another underrated player in this class from Texas Tech. He's a really nice rusher, I believe, and he's a good rusher. That's really it. He's just going to be a good rotational pass rusher for the Ravens. I'll give down an A-. And then James Proche, A+. This is a steal in the 6th round. I have no idea how he got this far. I don't know how the Packers didn't take him. Can't like talk about Green Bay. I really can't. But Proche, another good slot guy. You can play behind Duvernay. You play if you play 4 receivers, you can play him in the other slot. He's gonna be a good player. He's a great backup. I think he's not fast, but he's a good route runner. He's a good slot guy. A+. I'll do A, not A+, because he's not like great. But this next pick is a pure A+. Geno Stone's a fucking steal. Geno Stone, I thought should have gone in the 4th round. He's an amazing player. I don't know how he fell this far. He's one of the better safeties in this class. Slam dunk A+ grade. He fits this Ravens team perfectly too. He's a big hitter. He's so good. I wanted Geno Stone as a Niners fan so bad just so we could get him, because I don't understand how talent like that just falls. But Stone goes to the Ravens, of course. It's one of the best drafts I've ever seen. Ravens get A for their draft. It was absolutely ridiculous how many just amazing players they got. Now move on to the team, the #1 pick, the Cincinnati Bengals. Joe Burrow, A+. I'm not going to talk about it. Burrow's the best quarterback in this class. Don't need to talk about. I don't know why they've got Van Dahl yet, though. That's interesting to watch. And then in the 2nd round, the Bengals took Tee Higgins. And I'm going to just want a B+, because obviously they have Tyler Boyd playing the slot. They have AJ Green, who's returning from injury. But will he stay healthy? You never know. So Tee Higgins, he's a decent player. I think he's actually a really nice player. He's pretty underrated in my opinion out of this receiving class. Like no one was really talking about him. Talk about guys like Denzel Mims. So I think Tee Higgins is better than Denzel Mims. I also think Tee Higgins is better than Brandon Ayuk, but Ayuk's a better fit for the Niners. I just have to put that in real quick. But I think Higgins is a really nice player. I give this one a B+ because I feel they could have gone for a tackle or a lineman for Burrow to, stay alive against. But good player still. Give it a B+. And then the 3rd round, they go with Logan Wilson, who I think is a nice linebacker. He just won a B+ as well. He's one of the better linebackers in this class. He's good, pretty speedy player. He's a good run stopper, good pass coverage guy. Can do a lot for your team. I think he's one of the better, obviously, as I said this already, I think he's one of the better linebackers in this class. I think he's better than the guy who's Seattle picked, Jordan Brooks. I get down an A-. And then the 2nd round linebacker, who I also think is really good, Akeem Davis-Gaither. He's a speedy guy. And he's not great, really, but I think he's a nice speed guy. He's going to be fun to have as a guy to develop. I give that one a B. Good player to take in the 4th round. He's going to be a nice guy to develop. I just said that. And then the 5th round, they took Khalid Kareem. I'm not going to lie, I don't know much about this guy. He's from Notre Dame, so I probably should know about him. But he's a decent player, I guess. He'll probably be, looks like one of those guys who's like more of a hybrid edge. Yeah, he could probably stop the run pretty well and be a decent pass rusher. I'll go down to B. I'll give it a C+. I don't know much about him. And then in the 6th round, they finally took their first lineman, Hakeem Adeniji. Don't know if that was right. He's from Kansas. He can play both tackle spots. He's an okay player. I'll give that one I'll give that one a B-. I'll give it a B. It is a need. They do need tackle, but I think they should have gone tackle way earlier. Actually, I'm going to move Kareem's down because I think he should have gone tackle. I'm going to move that grade down to a C. At the G, I'll give him a B. And then their final pick, they got another linebacker for some reason. They took Markus Bailey. I don't know much about him. He's from Purdue. He's probably a good run. He's gonna be a good run defender, I guess. He is undersized though. That's C to B. I don't know much about him. But Bengals overall, getting them a B+. They got Burrow, of course, who's a good player. They got Higgins. They got Wilson and Gather. Their first 4 picks were, I think, really good picks. And then the rest of them were meh. But they got Burrow, which is really an A+ in its own right. Now let's move on to the Cleveland Browns, who got I think a steal in my opinion, Jedrick Wills. I thought he should have gone to Arizona, but obviously, as I said on the board, it's hard to pass up. But Jedrick Wills, I give this one an A+. The Browns, they need linemen. They get Jedrick Wills, one of the best pass blockers out of this draft, if not the best. Jedrick Wills is my number 2 tackle. Andrew Thomas, who was the top tackle taken. But Jedrick Wills, he's a fantastic player. And the Browns are going to really enjoy having an actual blocker at tackle instead of fucking Craig Robinson and was it Chris Hubbard? That's a huge upgrade. It's a really good pick for the Browns. I know I said it, but A+. And here's another A, Grant Delpit. He's I don't understand why teams are so low on him, or why people are so low on him. He's an extremely good safety. He's going to be an amazing safety in the NFL. Obviously, yeah, a little tackle issue. You can fix that. Same with Greedy Williams, although Greedy Williams didn't play as good as I thought he would. But I just don't really get it. He's a great safety, great cover skills. He will find the football. He will get there. And if you're that scared of him missing tackles, then help. It's not that hard to teach someone how to tackle. Then the third round, they go Jordan Elliott, a defensive tackle from Missouri. They trade up, I believe, for this guy. He's a decent player. I give this one a B. He's a decent pass rusher. He's good power. He'll be a decent player for him, I think. He can play Sheldon Richardson in the future. That's a B. Nothing special. Nothing amazing. But a decent player. Then they took Jacob Phillips from LSU, their next pick in the second third round pick. And he's another guy. He's from LSU. I think I said that already though. He's a decent run defender again. And he's pretty speedy as well. He's a decent cover guy. I think he'll be a nice player. He obviously plays this guys with Joe Schobert, Kirksey, who left the Browns. So it was a need. I get down to B because it's a good guy to fill a need there. And then the fourth guy to go, Harrison Bryant. I think they meant to take Hunter Bryant. Although Hunter Bryant went undrafted, so maybe they didn't mean to take him. But Harrison Bryant, he's opposite. I think he's a really nice tight end. I'll get down to B. Obviously, Njoku, they have on their team. We'll see what happens with him. I'm pretty sure he's been a trade rumor, so he also hasn't done much his career. For Harrison Bryant, he's a really nice player. B+ in my opinion. I don't know if I said, I'm pretty sure I said B, but I give it B+. Then Nick Harrison in the 5th round. This is an A in my opinion. He's a very underrated player. He fits his zone blocking scheme extremely well. He's good, agile lineman. He's a great center. He's similar to Matt Hennessy, who went, I think, 2 rounds earlier. So, something like that. Pretty sure I just talked about Matt Hennessy too. But Nick Harris, he's gonna be a great player. I get on A. And then the final pick was in the 6th round. He took Donovan Peoples-Jones, who I think is gonna be a great player to try to develop there. He's tall, athletic. He can make amazing highlight catches. I give this one an A as well. The Browns had a really nice draft. I'll give it an A- overall grade. It's a really good draft. You got Jedrick Wills, Grant Delpit, Harrison Bryant, Nick Harris, Donovan Peoples-Jones are all great players. Then Jordan Elliott and Jacob Phillips. Not only are they decent players, but they fill needs for that team. So Browns, they had a very, very good draft, along with the Ravens, even the Bengals. So AFC North doing really good at the draft, doing really good drafting here. That takes us to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Their first pick was Chase Claypool from Notre Dame. And he's a very athletic 6'4" receiver. He's going to be a nice player. I'm sure Ben Roethlisberger will have a lot of fun throwing to him. And, you know, a lot of people compare him to Calvin Johnson because of his combine. I don't think he'll be Calvin Johnson, but I think he's going to be great. Or, not great. I think he'll be a good receiver. He'll be the number 2 behind Juju, most likely. I give this one a B+. He's a very good receiver, in my opinion. But he might have been a little... I'll move it down to a B. I think he was overdrafted. Just a little bit. But he's a very nice player. Then, the Steelers' next pick, they have Alex Highsmith from Charlotte. This was another pick I think they reached on, so I'm going to give it a C+. But he's a very... I forgot Charlotte's team's called the 49ers. But Highsmith, he's extremely athletic. He's going to be a decent player. Or he's going to be a really good player, probably, for the Steelers. Or he'll be a decent player. He'll be decent. He'll be a decent player. He's a good guy to develop. He's going to probably develop well in the Steelers organization, so he might end up being a good player. But I think he's just going to have a lot of fun developing him. And with Bud Dupree, I believe he's on the franchise tag. Maybe he'll play some next year. I think it's a good thing for the Steelers, but I do think they reached on him, so C+. That takes us to their 4th round pick, which is a very nice player here. Anthony McFarland. I give this one an A. This is a steal. Or not really a steal. That's probably right when he should have been taken. Although I think he should have gone with guys like other running backs that were taken earlier. But McFarland, he's extremely speedy back with James Conner always being hurt and their backup being Geno Stone. So I think it's their receiving back pretty much. McFarland is actually a running back more than like a receiver. He's great speed. He's also not like powerless. He can run through some guys. This is an A grade. This is a really nice player for them. They're probably going to enjoy having him a lot. And it takes us to their next pick, which was Kevin Dotson, a guard from Louisiana. Yeah, he didn't get invited to the combine. I don't really know much about him. He's from, I believe, Louisiana Lafayette again. I don't know much about Louisiana Lafayette as a school, but I give this one, I give it a C+. It was a need to get guys to develop behind like the Castros getting older. I'm pretty sure LeBron Foster already retired, so it is a need, but I don't know much about him. I think they could have gotten the Tony Boutte. Every team that took a guard ahead of the Tony Boutte that isn't like one of the other top guard, but there was another top 3 guard. It's going to be somewhere probably between B's and C's. Next, Antoine Brooks Jr. from Maryland. Yeah, I think he's actually going to be a nice player. He is small, or not really small. He's 5'11", which is probably average for a safety at this point. But he's going to be a nice high-rated guy. He can play in the box. He's great. He has nice speed. He's going to be okay. I don't really know a lot about him, but I think he's kind of stiff. He's speedy though. He'll play safety. They have fucking Terrell Edmonds back there. Who cares? I give this one another C+ because I just don't know enough about him to really give a good pick. Now here's the other Davis brother, Carlos Davis, and I'm giving this one an A. Another steal, 7th round. No idea how he fell this far. Him and Khalil, they're gonna be studs in my opinion. They're both extremely speedy. They both have great pass rushing skill. And even Carlos, I think he's a better run defender than him, so I think he should have gone before Khalil, or I think he's a better run defender than Khalil. But they're both great players. They're both studs. I don't know how they fell this far in the draft, and they should both gone 4th round or so. It's an A there for the Steelers, and overall, I give the Steelers, I say a B. I'll give it overall, I'm gonna say B-. I don't really think they got any studs out of this draft, or any like stars. Other than I have a 1st round pick, because they gave it for Minka Fitzpatrick. We probably should factor in, but too late really. But overall, nice draft. It was okay compared to the rest of the division. I think the rest of the division did a lot better, especially with the fact that the Steelers didn't get any quarterback to develop behind Big Ben, which is interesting because he's been injured a lot. He's old, and I don't think they want Mason Rudolph and Duck Hodges playing ever again. But it was an okay draft. I give it a B-. And that's it for my AFC North draft grades. If you enjoyed, leave a like and subscribe. Do whatever you have to do to get my channel some recognition. I'll see you guys next time with my next draft grades. Peace out, y'all.